Right now, at the edge of the grass in your backyard, there is a predator the size of a sesame seed, patiently waiting for a warm body to pass by. It does not just bite. It can also make it so you can never eat a bite of beef or drink a glass of milk again for the rest of your life. That is the truth about Lyme disease and alpha-gal syndrome, and they are spreading faster than ever. Most people will run out and buy bottles of toxic chemicals or call in a spray truck. But I want you to go into the bathroom and grab something. Everybody has your hairdryer. That is right. This simple device is the strongest weapon I have used to protect my family for years, and we have never had a tick bite. Pest control companies will never tell you that dry heat is the #1 enemy of ticks, because they cannot charge you $700 a season if you know how to protect yourself with just a few cents of electricity. But I am going to show you exactly 3 layers of heat defense you can use tonight. This is completely safe for your kids and your pets. Stay with me, and you will protect your children all season without needing any chemicals. Why are ticks afraid of heat? If you have been following me from my earlier videos, you know I have tried a lot of ways to protect my home from ticks. I have planted plants ticks, hate-used diatomaceous earth, and mixed up simple sprays around the yard. And I will be honest, those things help. The yard stays less damp, the fence line is cleaner, and I see fewer ticks. But there is one thing that no plant, no powder, and no spray can fully control my dog. Dogs do not move around the yard the way people do. They run through the grass, push through bushes, roll on the ground, stick their nose into the fence line, and then charge straight into the house like nothing happened. And that is when I realized ticks do not need to crawl into the house on their own. They just need a ride. On dog fur, on socks, on pant cuffs, on the gardening glove you just tossed by the door. So before we talk about the dryer, I have to ask a simpler question. What does a tick need to survive? Ticks look tough, but they are not immortal creatures. They are small, flat, and they hold on tight, but their bodies still have to hold moisture. Think of a tick like a tiny bag of water with a thin, waxy shell on the outside. That layer helps keep the tick from drying out when it is sitting in tall grass, dead leaves, or damp shade along the fence. And this is its weak spot. Heat damages that waxy shell. When that layer breaks down, dry air pulls moisture out of the tick's body. If it is kept in a hot, dry place long enough, the tick dries out and dies. It does not need to be smashed. It does not need to be drowned in chemicals. It just needs to be stripped of what it needs most, moisture. Once I understood that, I started looking at my hairdryer differently. It was not just something for drying hair or clothes anymore. It became one small step right at the back door after I garden or after my dog comes back in from the yard. Not to burn ticks, to find them before they make it deeper into the house. Using a hairdryer to spot ticks in your dog's fur. Anybody with a dog or cat already knows this. It is hard not to pet them the second they come running inside. But that coat is not always just holding dry grass and dirt. Sometimes there are ticks too. So before I rub my dog's head, especially when he has just run through tall grass brush or along the fence line, I check his coat with a hairdryer. Do not get me wrong, I am not using the hairdryer to burn ticks off my pet's skin. I use it to find ticks, because ticks are almost never sitting right out in the open on top of every hair where you can see them right away. They usually stay close to the skin under the coat in warm and hidden places. If you only part the fur with your hands, it is very easy to miss them, especially on a thick-coated dog. I call the hairdryer a flashlight made of air. It does not shine a light, but it blows the fur apart so I can see the skin underneath. Once the skin shows, those tiny odd spots are a lot easier to catch. The way I do it is very simple. I usually do it right near the back door, the laundry room, or the garage. If I have a white towel, I lay it underneath so I can see more easily if anything falls off. I turn the hairdryer to the cool setting or the low setting. I hold it a little away from the skin, then move it slowly across each section of fur. I do not press it close. I do not hold it in one spot too long. I do not use high heat. I check carefully around the ears, under the chin, the neck where the collar touches the skin, the armpits, the belly, the base of the tail, and between the toes. Those are the places our hands can easily miss, but ticks love to hide there. If I see a tick crawling, I grab it right away. If it has already attached to the skin, I do not use the hairdryer to force it to let go. I use tweezers. My dog is calm, so this is pretty easy. But cats are a different story. If your cat gets angry the second it hears the dryer, do not try to turn it into a wrestling match in the laundry room. If your pet is scared, stop. The hairdryer does not kill ticks at this step. It just helps me see what is hiding under the fur. For clothes socks and gardening gloves, I use something stronger, the clothes dryer. Using a clothes dryer to kill ticks. The dog can bring ticks into the house, but honestly, a lot of times we do it too. After gardening, mowing, fixing the fence, or just walking through tall grass, ticks can cling to socks, pant cuffs, work shirts, hats, or the gloves I just took off. They are so small you may not see anything at all. But it only takes one live tick on your clothes to get a ticket into the house. That is why I keep a separate spot near the back door for outdoor clothes. You can call it the yard dirty clothes zone if you want. A separate basket, a hook, or a white towel on the floor is enough. I do not toss my gardening pants in with the rest of the family's laundry. If there is a tick on the pant cuff, I do not want it crawling onto bath towels, pajamas, or the rug in the living room. If the clothes are still dry, my rule is very simple: dry first, wash later. I put the clothes in the dryer, run it on high heat for about 10 minutes, and then wash them afterward if needed. If the clothes are wet, 10 minutes may not be enough, because the dryer has to spend time drying the fabric first. But if the clothes are already dry, heat hits ticks very fast. I call this step the 10-minute furnace. That may sound a little intense, but for a tick, that is exactly what it is. The gardening pants get tossed over and over in dry heat. No tall grass, no dead leaves, no shade, no moisture, no peaceful place to hang on, just dry heat, constant motion, and enough time to do the job. If I use cedar dry scent sachets or any kind of fragrance, I use it after drying in the storage bin for outdoor clothes, not to kill ticks. Dry heat is what kills ticks. The scent is just an extra layer to remind everybody in the house these are yard clothes, do not throw them on the sofa. So that is my second layer of defense. The hairdryer helps me find ticks on the dog. The clothes dryer helps me handle ticks on fabric. But if there is already a bite on your skin, that is a different story. But you know what, even after you have been bitten by a tick, the hairdryer can still help. I will share that with you right now. Using heat from a hairdryer to soothe a bite. But no matter how careful you are, there may still be a time when you notice a red spot on your skin. Maybe it is on your ankle, behind your knee, on your arm, or right where your sock touches your skin. At that point, the first thing is not to panic. The first thing is to look carefully: is this a regular insect bite, or is there a tick attached? Not every itchy spot is a tick. Mosquitoes, chiggers, gnats, tiny ants, or other yard insects can leave behind red spots that are really annoying. Those spots are usually itchy, a little swollen, and make you want to scratch non-stop. But ticks are different. If you see a tick still attached to your skin, that is no longer a normal itchy bite. For regular insect bites, I do use gentle heat to calm them down, not to cure anything, not as some miracle trick, just to help quiet the itch for a while. The reason is pretty easy to understand. When a mosquito or some other insects bite, your skin reacts to the saliva and irritants they leave behind. Your body starts sending itch signals. A little warmth can calm those signals for a short time. Put simply, it does not erase the bite, but it can make you want to scratch less. If I use a hairdryer for this, I use it very carefully. I keep it away from the skin use. A low, warm setting. Do not use high heat, and keep it moving. I do not press the dryer close to the skin. I do not hold it in one spot too long. If it feels like it is burning hurts or the skin gets redder, I stop right away. But here is the red line. If the tick is still attached to your skin, put the hairdryer down. Do not use heat. Do not put on Vicks. Do not drip essential oil on it. Do not use oil, Vaseline, or anything else to force it to let go. At that point, what you need is not a trick. What you need is a clean pair of tweezers. Grab close to the skin pull, straight and steady, then clean the area. After that, keep an eye on your body. If you see a spreading red ring, a bullseye pattern fever, unusual, fatigue, headache, joint, pain, muscle pain, or a strange reaction after eating red meat that is no longer a hair dryer issue, that is when you call a doctor. Expand the tick defense system for your whole home. By now you have seen how useful heat can be. The hair dryer helps me find ticks on the dog. The clothes dryer helps me handle ticks on socks, pant cuffs, gardening shirts, towels, and bedding. A little warmth can even make some insect bites feel less annoying. But I need to make this clear. Heat is the enemy of ticks, but you cannot turn your whole house into one giant dryer and live in it. You cannot live at 140 degrees Fahrenheit just to kill ticks. You cannot dry out the whole lawn, the fence line, the bushes, the wooden deck, the barn area, or the pile of dead leaves behind the house. That is impossible. So the dryer is only a close-range weapon. It is great for people and personal items, clothes, socks, towels, bedding, gloves, or the dog that just came running in from the yard. But it is not the full picture solution for your whole property. If you want to fight ticks all season, you need defense and depth. That means you do not put all your hope into one single trick. The first layer is the yard. I like to create a barrier with cedar wood chips along the edge of the yard, especially between the lawn and the bushes, the fence line, or the small woods behind the house. A strip about 3 feet wide can create a dry, open buffer zone that ticks do not like. I often call it the dead zone, not because it is magic, but because ticks do not like having to crawl across a dry area with little shade and not much to grab onto. I already made a separate video about the smells ticks hate and how to create a natural buffer zone that can last through many seasons if you maintain it, add to it, and keep it dry. The second layer is cleaning up the root of the problem. There is no trick to this one, but it matters a lot. Just like you reduce mosquitoes by dumping out standing water, you reduce ticks by clearing the places where they hide. For ticks, that is leaf litter, meaning that damp layer of dry leaves around the house. It is also tall grass, thick brush, fence edges under the deck, wood piles, barn areas, the path where the dog likes to run the edge of the garage, and those damp, shady corners right up against the house. In a home with a yard, there are usually a lot of danger spots homeowners miss. I usually think of 9 spots like that whenever I walk around the yard, not to panic, but to know where I need to clean first. The third layer is a support weapon fossil shell flower, also called diatomaceous earth. I call it an ancient powder. But I do not just throw it all over the yard. I use it in dry cracks and gaps under the wooden deck along the garage edge, in the corners of the barn area or places where ticks might hide that a dryer will never reach. This powder only matters when it stays dry. And I am always careful so dogs and cats do not breathe it in. I also made a separate video about how to use this powder, how to adjust it, and the safety principle behind it. If you want to use it, go back and watch that video before sprinkling it everywhere. The fourth layer is biology plants. Rosemary, lavender, and some strong-smelling plants do more than make the garden more pleasant. They also help create an environment that ticks do not like. You remember that video, right? It was one of the videos people cared about most on my channel. If you have not seen it, you can go back and find it. This is the most natural way to protect your home from ticks while also making your garden look better. And only at the end do we get to the indoor layer, the dryer. The hair dryer is for finding ticks on pets. The clothes dryer is for treating fabric items. It is the final door before ticks make it deeper into the carpet, the sofa, the bed, and your family's living space. I do not do these things because I am afraid of my own yard. I still garden. I still mow. I still let the dog run around outside. I just do not let ticks get a free ride into the house. Do not think tick control has to be about killing them as fast as possible. Turn it into part of your lifestyle. If you only remember this video as a hairdryer trick, you are only remembering half the story. The dryer is a tool, but what matters more is how you look at your home. Ticks are a reminder that every house has weak spots: a pile of dead leaves behind the fence, a damp corner under the wooden deck, a pair of grass-covered socks by the door, or a dog that just came running in from the yard. My family does not live by random internet hacks. We live by understanding the rules of nature. Anything that needs moisture to live has to be dried out. Anything waiting in dead leaves has to lose those dead leaves. Anything hitching a ride into the house has to be stopped right at the back door. So do not wait until you get bitten by a tick before looking for the dryer. Tonight, take a walk around the yard. Look at the fence line. Look at the place where the dog likes to run. Look at the pile of dry leaves you meant to clean up last week. Put a clean pair of tweezers, a roll of duct tape, and a white towel near the back door. If you use diatomaceous earth, use it in dry cracks and gaps in a controlled way, and do not sprinkle it everywhere. Children or pets might breathe it in. And if you know a neighbor who is paying thousands of dollars for spray trucks, but still worries about their kids and pets getting bitten by ticks, send them this video. Not so they ignore a professional when they need one, but so they can take back some control inside their own home. Billy's Smart Homestead is not a place where I show off a few strange tricks. This is where I gather what I have learned from family neighbors, the yard, the garden, the barn, and even the times I got it wrong. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications if you want to build this kind of lifestyle with me.